Hi, everyone. How is it Friday already, right? I don't know if some of you still celebrate TGIF, but the days just kind of flew by this week and Friday caught me by surprise. However, if you are like me and you are all about monthly goals, you still have a whole full complete week left. I don't know why. It just makes me feel better when the week goes all the way through. Um, to Saturday because it makes me feel like it's like a full week. Even if it ended on like a Thursday, I would kind of feel cheated. So, anyways, today we are going to do a mix and match of all of the different planners. So, I have probably 1,000 different pages if you added everything up. And I just wanted to show you it's really easy to combine stuff. So, I'm going to do two things for you today. One, I'm going to show you just a small hack that I do inside Photoshop. So, I know a lot of people who are super fancy with Photoshop will do masking and they'll change like a single item, the color of it, or add something in. And that's a little bit more advanced. I have a super easy way for you to just kind of change the color. So I'm going to show you that first because there are a lot of covers or layouts, and you might just want to change something really small without having to go overboard and changing everything. So let me open up Photoshop for you. What is this? This is not Photoshop. This is Adobe InDesign. So let's try that again. Okay, so here is one of the covers. Here's another cover. Here's a gold cover. So you can do this with any cover. So let's just use this pink polka dot cover. So over here on the layers panel, a couple things. You're going to go to window, make sure that layers is checked. And anytime there's a lock, I don't know why it does a lock automatically, but that's just a default. Just unlock it so it's not locked. And then over here on the layers panel, and let me try to start up Pro Mouse because I know my screen is kind of big. So I think the Pro Mouse will kind of help. So you can see over here in the layers panel, I don't know why channels and paths are here. I think that's just a default. Again, like I said, I'm not like a Photoshop expert. So over here at the very bottom of the layers panel, you're going to see FX. You're going to see this weird little half circle. And so it's this weird half circle that we are going to use. So when you open up that half circle, you're going to get this menu item. And we're actually going to choose hue slash saturation. So you're going to choose hue slash saturation. And then it's going to put a hue slash saturation layer right above that. So here's what's going to happen. Here at the top, it should open up a little dialog box that says properties. If it does not, make sure that you've highlighted over here this layer. And then when you come up here, you can kind of change stuff around. And then when you change things around, you can see the colors on the left changing to blue, to pink, to red, to orange, to yellow, to green. So it's going to automatically just kind of take the colors that are in there and it's adding these colors that you're kind of adding in. I was never really good at art, but that's how it's making these new colors. So if I really wanted to make this, let's say what color could be fun, like a bright green. Okay, maybe that's not that pretty. Like a blue, and that's the color that I want. I now have a blue cover that used to be. So if I take this little eye over here and I turn it off, I can see that this was my original hot pink, but now it's blue. So I can make that whole cover blue, and I don't have to worry about doing anything else or trying to mask each and every little dot on here. Instead, now if I want to use this, I can just go ahead, go file, export, or you could also do file save too. You could just do file save as, and you could just save this as your new blue cover. So we could put this on the desktop and see where it says pink polka dots. We can just change this to blue polka dots. That's our new file. And I save that as a Photoshop. You can save it as anything else, but JPEG is usually easier. So we can change this format down here um, to, I thought we could save it to a JPEG. So just kidding. So we can go to File, Export, Save for Web. And then from this list over here, preset, you have GIFs, you have JPEGs, you have PNGs. Unless you're doing something transparent, I would never select PNG. Always just do JPEG high, and that will save it as a JPEG for you. And we'll go back to desktop, and we'll do blue polka dots. We'll save it, and we're done. So if I go back over to my desktop over here, and I open up my blue polka dots, I can now see that I have a blue polka dot social media planner cover. It's 832 kilobytes, and then I can go ahead and add it into my social media planner. So let's do that next. So anything you want to do, let me just show you one more thing. This was from, I'll be honest, I don't remember. I think it was from the weekly or the daily planner. But same thing. Remember before, you're just going to go down here. You're going to make sure layers are on, and then you're going to unlock that layer, and then you're going to go to that half circle, and you are going to select hue saturation, and then make sure that that line is selected, and then go ahead and you can start making changes over here, and you can see how the colors change over here on the left. So again, you can do this really to anything except just, you cannot do it to a black and white or gray photo because there's no hue or saturation for it to like pick up the color and kind of manipulate. So there has to be some sort of color in there at the time. It doesn't matter which color as long as there is some color, and make sure that panel is not locked. And then you should be good to go. But let's go back to Adobe InDesign. So we're going to pull in, where's my social media planner? Here's my social media planner with my hot pink. And oh, look at that. The blue looks like it will match perfectly. So I'm going to make sure I have that selection tool on. I'm going to select that cover. And to replace the cover, I'm just going to do File, Place. And I'm going to go into my desktop. I'm going to select that blue polka dot and say Open. And now I have a blue polka dot. So I have this overlay. I can actually just delete it because I have everything else already inside my cover perfectly how I want it. So let's go ahead and move on. So over here, let's say I want to, before I even get into my social media planner, I'm probably thinking people would like to have a weekly calendar, right? So I can change this table of contents over here, and I can add something over here that says 00, so I don't have to change it too much. And I will just say calendar. And so I can put anything I want. I can put the year, I can put months, I can put weeks, and I can kind of format it however I want. So if I opened up the weekly style one, these colors actually almost kind of match. I mean, obviously I can change them. And then over here, this is another weekly. I could maybe change that around too. And here's another weekly as well. So I'm going to try to pick what I think is probably best. Maybe I want to put a year at a glance. So you do have the annual inside of your membership. You can just go to the annual calendar, find the 2022 calendar, and you could add that in as well. Let's see. You can add holidays. Hold on. You can add any of those. I just realized those colors aren't going to match. So just for today, to make it a little faster, any page that you want to move in between any InDesign files, you have to have it open in Adobe InDesign. So you can't just move things from a file. You know how we place objects? You can't place pages. You can only move pages if both files are open. So you have to have a couple tabs open for things that you want to move. And honestly, you do have to have enough memory that your computer isn't going to clog too much. So let's say I really like, which layout do I really like? I really kind of like this layout, but not for what it's intended. So I'm going to select this page over here, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to say move page, and I'm going to move it to that social media planner. So I'm going to find that document here, and I'm going to say move this after, what page was that actually? After page 1, 2, 3. I think it was after page 3. So we're going to say after page 3, and we're going to say okay. So over here, if I go back into this planner, there we go. So now I can see my planners over here. That was actually the wrong page. So let's actually move the correct page this time. I meant to move the one on the side. So here we go. Let's try that again. All right. So this time I'm going to move this page after page 3. And let's go over here and see if that worked. Whoops, I did not do that right. I put it in the wrong document. All right. So we're going to try this again. Third time's the charm. Move this page. Let me select the right document. Social media planner after page 3. I'm going to say, okay. It looks like nothing happened. You have to actually check the document to see what happened. Okay. So here's the page that I moved. That is the incorrect page. Whoops. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this page and I'm going to delete that page because I don't want it. And oh, I see what happened. So this has B applied to it, which is that weekly layout B. So we don't need that layout. So instead, what we're going to do is we are going to apply A to that page, which is a blank page. There we go. Now it's better. So let me just show you what happened. So the reason it looked like one page on top of the other is because anytime you move a page in between documents, it also pulls that parent page with it. So that parent page, if we looked over here, had all of this information on it, and that's why it pulled it over. So we don't actually want that. So now it's full, now it's clear, and this is kind of what we want. So what I want to do instead is I can go in here and I can say O1 and I can change this text to say January. So I'm going to go through here. I want to change this text to say February. And over here, I'm going to change this to say March. And here we're going to change this to say April. And over here, we are going to change this to say May. And here we're going to go to June. We're almost there. Whoops. 6. That was weird. Hold on. Let me let me try to fix that. Oh, I know what happened. So the reason we can't see that text is because it's too big. So let's make it smaller. There we go. Now we can see it. So the way I was able to tell that was the issue is because I had that little plus sign there, which means overflow text. So there wasn't enough room inside that original one. So we had to go over here and just make that a little smaller. So we are going to go ahead and say June. And then over here, we're going to say July. And we're totally done with this side of the page. But I really want this to be over here. So I am going to duplicate this page. It's going to make another page. Anytime you duplicate a page, it does put it at the bottom. So we can do one of two things. We can drag and drop it to the top, or we can just say move it. And I'm just going to say move after page 3. No, after page 4. So then if I jump back up here to page 4, I should just see it right here. So then we can keep going on and use it like this. So you can really change, just because it had dates in it doesn't mean you can only use dates. You can really use these for anything you want. So we're going to change this to 8. And again, I don't see any text, and that's because we have this little plus, which is the overset text. So that means that it was just too big. So we're going to change that font. There we go. And now we can see it. And we're going to do August. And we are going to do September. And we're going to make this smaller. And this one is a 10. October, we're almost there. 11 is November. 12 is December. And then over here, I'm just going to say YE. Obviously, still too big. So we're going to change that text to make it small. And I'm just going to say year end. And I'm going to call this W. And we're going to call this wrap up. So now I have pretty much changed everything I want. I've repurposed this page from the weekly so that it can serve my purposes. And maybe because year end is a little different, maybe I want to change this color so I can come up here to the top, hit that T, and maybe I can just make this green. Green could be a new color. And this circle over here, we could make that green too. And same thing here with the wrap up. Maybe I am going to take that type tool and I'm going to make this black. And same thing with that circle. I'm going to make this black. And so now I can tell that these are the months. They're all in my cute little colors. And then year end and wrap up are a little different. So those are in different colors. And so that will be my calendar planner that I have for this particular planner. Now, again, these colors just happen to work out perfectly. If you look at the branding that was inside of here, you can always change everything. So like this light blue maybe is a better blue than the one that originally came through here. So if I wanted to, I could kind of just hold the shift key down and I can select all of these bright blues and I can change it to that lighter blue over here. And then same thing with the text. I can select all of those at once, hit the type tool, and then select that light blue. And so now it looks a little bit more in line with the colors that were already inside of the rest of this planner. So I have a little bit better like branding matching. So the colors you never have to worry about because they're always going to be up here inside of your color grids. If I wanted to pull in the color swatch from the other one, I could simply go up here and I can hit these little bars over here and I could go ahead and say load swatches, and then I could pull in the colors from another one of those planners. It doesn't even matter which one it is. Let's go to downloads. Let's go to creative market, weekly. So I can go to any of those files. And it looks like you're going to open up the InDesign file. Again, like, I don't know why it can't just give you kind of a dialog box like done. You're like, did anything happen? did I do it correctly? And now we're going to see all of those new colors that are inside of here. So we didn't have these metallic foils before, but now they're inside of here. So again, another way to kind of do everything and make it match. So another thing you might want to match inside of here is you'll notice on these pages, we have the hot pink dots, but remember, we changed the colors to be blue. So maybe we want to change these colors over here to be blue as well. So really easy. These dots, you'll notice you can't move them. And the reason you can't move them is because they're part of the master page. So I guess we should call them parent pages now. It's so hard to switch. So over here, if I go to this parent page, I can see that we have the hot pink. So all I have to do is do a file place, and I can bring in that new blue polka dot. So I'm just going to say blue polka dots, open, and now we have blue polka dots. So I'm going to do the exact same thing over here, file place, and I'm going to pull in my blue polka dots, and I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom of the page. I'm going to do file place and pull in those blue polka dots. And same thing over here. Do a file place. And we got our blue polka dots. And now when I go back into that page, now we can see we have the cover is blue. And when we open the document, we now have blue polka dots. So really easy to change these files around. Let me just go to view. Display performance. Yeah, we're on high. So anytime you see anything on these documents, everything can be edited. Again, that's my little hack for changing colors. You do have to use Photoshop to use that hue saturation feature. But you can mix and match any pages that you want as long as both documents are open. So again, if I wanted to move, let's try to do something that looks a little logical. So I really like this layout. And maybe after that, I want to put something else. So maybe I will open up a monthly because maybe I want to do the whole year. So if I go to my monthly planners and I go into 2022, I have a fuchsia, I have a gold, I have a violet, a rose gold. So I have some different colors. So let's go ahead and go into the fuchsia. Do I want the fuchsia one? Sure, why not? So we're going to open this file up inside of Adobe InDesign. So I'm going to go to View, Overprint Preview, because I really just don't like that weird, those blob colors on top of there. It just gets really confusing. So I don't need to worry about the cover, right? So I'm just going to pull in these pages. So if I want to move all of these pages over here on the Pages panel, and if you don't see that, you can go to Window and make sure that there's a check mark in front of Pages, and you can right-click on all of those pages once you've selected them and say Move Pages, and we can move this. Again, don't make the mistake I did the second time. Make sure you select the correct document, we'll select social media planner, and then we're going to put this after page 4. So it's going to move pages, you can just see, move pages 2 through 25. It's going to go after. And again, you could do this after, before, at the start of a document, or at the end of a document. But we chose after. And then it's going to go into this document. Remember, it has a list of all the documents that are currently open. So make sure you select the current one, the correct one. Otherwise, it will default to the current document, which is not what we want. And then this will specify which page number. So it'll tell you all the different page numbers inside that document. And we're just going to say, okay. And we did get the beach ball this time. So it looks like I do have a couple, like maybe one too many things open. And let's see. Okay, so nothing happened again. So it never gives you an indication. You're like, okay, I think it might be done. So we can go back to this document, the social media planner, and we can see that these pages were in fact successfully added. So we have January, we have February, and they're offset on the wrong pages. So the reason it did that is because I should have put this after page 5, not after page 4. So all we have to do to fix this is go back here to wherever those pages ended. There it is. And we can see this page was supposed to go up there. So all we have to do is select this page, which is page 29. And we're simply going to take page 29 and drag and drop it up here. So it is right after page 4. So it's now the new page 5. So if I double click here, now I can see, let me make this a little smaller so you can see this. I can see that have fixed this. So now we have our original layout that we added, like a whole year at a glance. And then this is a 2-page spread. And then this is a 2-page spread. Because you always want to think, the reason I always do 2-page spreads is because I always think two things. One, I'm probably going to make this into a digital planner. So I like having that left and right look. And also, if someone is printing this out, I would like it so that they could do a double side printing. And then this is the most logical, so they know what's on the back and what's on the front. So that is why these planners are created like this, so that when people print them out, they actually work. So now we have January, we have February, March, April, etc. And then we actually get into the other parts of the planner, the social media planner. So again, these are pretty simple and easy fixes to do to mix and match pages. It's just a matter of, here's what I would do if I were you. One, hopefully you have an iPad. I know you're like, not all of us have an iPad, Lisa, but try to get familiar with these different planners. What I do in my iPad is I have all of them, and then I can easily scroll through and just make a note of which ones I like. I sent out the the template sampler today, where I kind of grouped together different colors for you to try to help you out, because some of the planners already are easy to mix and match based on the colors without having to do a lot of changes. So there's that. And then also at the same time, you can also go to the sales page and look at the different planners. I believe it's on Pretty Fabulous Designs shop. And you can see a lot of the different pages when you open these documents up. So for example, I mean, we have the social media planner open, so maybe we'll open a different one. So if I go into the budget planner over here, I can see all of the different things that I get inside of the budget planner. But most importantly, at the bottom of the budget planner, I do have a tour of what's inside. So you can go through and look through all of those pages in here as well. I think if you follow me on Issue, you can see that too. You can see them all in one place. Let's see, find creators, Lisa Seifert. Or maybe not. I will send a link out. I guess I'm just not that popular of a creator. Let's see, Pretty Fabulous. Does it come up then? Oh, there, one came up by Lisa Seifert. Okay, so over here, you could go to Lisa Seifert. Yeah, I'm not that popular. I have like 19 followers. And then you can see all of the guides inside of here, and any of these that you open up. And I can try loading the rest of them too if you find this useful. you can just walk through and you can see all the different types of layouts and the colors that are there right now as is. And then you could open that document just like we did and then push things left and right um, wherever you want inside there. All right, that was kind of it. I just wanted to show you really quickly that quick hack for Photoshop. So let's review that one more time. All that is adding, making sure the layer is unlocked over here in the layers panel, and then adding hue saturation, which you can see from this half circle down here. There is an option for hue saturation. And then once you have hue saturation open, it will open up this preset menu. And then you can just kind of start moving things around to change the colors. And then you can do a file export for web and then save it out as a JPEG. And then you can add it in to using file plays into Adobe InDesign as your new cover, like we did over here. And then if you want to mix and match pages, all you have to do is make sure both documents are open. Go over here to the Pages panel, which you can do Window, make sure that there's a check mark in front of Pages. And then any pages you want to move, you can also hold the Shift key and highlight many pages at once, right-click, say Move Pages, make sure you select the correct document you want to move it into. Otherwise, it will default into the current document, which really won't help you a lot. And then specify if you want to move it after a certain page, before a page, at the start of a document, or an end of the document. You will say, okay, it'll seem like nothing's happening. Something is definitely happening once it's done. And then you can check your new document and you can see your new fancy pages that have been moved. All right. I hope that was super helpful. And I hope to see you inside of Planner Pixies. I actually have a new course that I'm finishing wrapping up the recording of today. So I will be showing that all to you on Tuesday. And I created some new templates. These are actually Thrive Cart templates to help you sell the planners. So I will have more information about that. Actually, later today, I'll send an email to you today so you can just sign up for that, or maybe tomorrow morning. All right. I hope everyone's having a great end to their week, and I will talk to everybody